let's get to the promo with Pillman, where he basically, this is where Austin had just had a match, I think, in South Africa, or it wasn't South Africa, somewhere around
Yes, it
there
was in South Africa.
with Shawn Michaels, and it was
Oh,
really good. And I think Brett saw that. And so in September of 96, this is where it's actually on Superstars. Pillman, this is where Austin, calls out Bret Hart. He's the first person to say, I want to face Bret Hart. The beginning, the return of Bret Hart. And it's in September. That brings us to Mind Games, and he cuts the great promo where he says, if you put the letter S in front of
my
Hitman,
Hitman.
you got my exact opinion of Bret Hart. And I'm like, little things like that, a writer could not write that unless they were only writing for Austin.
Also, you
And
got to
that's,
notice at the time, they were kind of associating Austin a lot with Pillman and Owen Hart. I don't
yeah,
exactly know why, but they were doing that a lot.
I think because they wanted him to be, they knew Brett was coming in and they were like,
Also,
oh,
they kept saying Pillman is his best friend. They kept doing that. Oh, and
yeah,
Pillman would say, "My best friend." Oh
yeah. And Stone
man,
Cold would kind of look at him like, hey, we ain't friends. I don't have no,
the way he
I
would
got
look
no
at him.
friends. I just love
But
that.
you know what was perfect? I loved when Bret Hart comes back and says he accepts the match, and the way that Pillman is celebrating, and
Yeah,
Austin
and then he does
turned
that little
like,
turn. Yeah. All right, we're jumping the gun here. That's October. Let's finish with
yeah, yeah.
September, because notice when he comes out in Mind Games, he does have the vest. It's black. It
Yeah.
doesn't. I think it has in the back Stone Cold, but that's it.
See, by mind games, you start to slowly see, it was a regular vest, didn't have anything, but you're starting to see the mold,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
He also mentions Austin 316 as he's walking to the ring in mind games. A lot of people didn't notice that. He
Wait, where
was
does he?
yelling
Oh, he said he's
while he's
yelling it.
walking to the ring, he's screaming Austin 316. And I don't know what else he said after that, but I definitely caught it. He
See,
started
that's what
just
I love
saying it.
about Austin. He was already like, look, you're not going to give me a shirt. You're not going to give me that. Well, I'm going to get this over anyway. Even if I don't have a shirt, I don't have that. I'm going to put it on this. I'm going to do, like, he was already thinking of new ways, to get it out. And
And by this
he's
point,
selling it.
his promos are so above everyone else in presence and reality. Nothing fake would come out of Austin, and he felt like the Lone Ranger. You
Yeah, he
know.
did.
Now
He
I
really
gotta
did.
say, why the fuck does Austin have fog in his entrance still at this point?
Okay. Part of that is just they're lazy and they don't know what to do yet.
I mean, even when he started having the glass break, they still had it.
I think they were doing that for like everybody, though, weren't they?
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't.
No, Undertaker and Austin and Mankind.
He's not a character with fog. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe
And
they just
you
forgot.
know, and that reminds me when Austin wanted to make the Austin 316 shirt, Vince told them, "Oh, it looks too much like the Undertaker. Go ask him for permission."
Yeah.
I don't know what about his
He said the
character Vince
skulls.
felt was like the Undertaker. The fog.
He said the skulls. That was the thing. He said that skulls was Undertaker's thing. I guess in merchandise, that's true.
There was
Even though
never any
I don't know.
merchandise with the Undertaker at that time with a skull on it. The only time he had a skull, I believe, kinda, was when he was a Big Evil, and we're talking about what,
Yeah. Yeah, but that's
2002.
but apparently Vince just thought since he's the dead man, he has the
The
quota on
rights to
skull.
skulls.
It's stupid, but that's why when Austin asked him, like,
Well,
Taker was
then
like,
don't put
sure.
fog in his entrance. That's the Undertaker's too.
I know, but this is when the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. Vince doesn't. I don't know.
I
I don't know
know, I
why they do.
know,
But anyways, Taker said, "Yeah, go ahead." And we won't. Let's. We'll talk about the Austin 316 shirt in '97, but
Yeah,
we don't get an Austin 316 shirt till '97. It took them that
exactly.
long to come up with that shirt. You knew he had that
And
idea
and not only
already.
it took them that long, they didn't want to make the shirt to begin with. He
Eh,
needed to ask the Undertaker for permission. And if the Undertaker was Shawn Michaels, that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, well, Sean like skulls, so you need to go ask Sean. And Sean would have been like Cena when JTG did the thing. He's like, well, that merchandise you got coming. I think you might
Nah,
have to wait on that.
yeah.
Is that the people forget about that? They don't, they always want to give Cena the free pass, and I always go back to like, no, he's very much like Shawn
And
Michaels.
see, around in September, Austin and Shawn had a match on Raw. Dirty finish again. Not he's not beating any. See, he's not losing, but he is not beating anybody. He's not winning any matches. He's being booked against top guys, but since he's not winning any of these matches and they're not putting him in squash matches on Raw really, he's not really winning many matches on TV. So if you're
All
just
he's got to go
watching,
on is
this is
his
promos.
promos.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And
very similar to what Raw is now.
yeah,
A bunch of bullshit finishes.
but
I mean, the finish with Shawn is a bullshit finish. It's not.
but that being said, it was a bullshit finish, but I was just thinking, God, this is a good 10-minute bullshit match. And I was saying, man, if they could have added this, Shawn and this Austin at WrestleMania 14, who
Yeah,
knows what you could have had.
that would have been great. Look at the Shawn. I mean, we're jumping again, but Shawn and Austin in '97, the King of the
And
Ring
King of the
match.
Ring.
That's a good
It
match.
was a good match. It was a
I
good
mean,
match.
it sucks. We never got the. I mean, yeah, that match at 14 just sucks. It's
But I
like
mean,
it's
let's
not
be
even
honest. It's
Shawn.
not like Shawn couldn't have come back during the Attitude Era and have that match. We know he
Yeah,
was
he didn't
fine.
do that. Yeah.
We know he was fine. He just didn't want a job to nobody.
That's why I've always said, I think Brett would have been the better guy to do it because you could have gone back to, you could have done spots with the 13, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. All right, let's talk about, all
Buried
right, so yeah,
alive.
so now we get to, Buried Alive and we get,
To
well, wait,
me,
actually the Raw after, I think, Mind Games is the first Raw where he has the Austin 316 painted on the, on the, on the jacket, on the vest.
no, it's in Buried Alive.
I noticed it on that Raw too.
It's on both.
I noticed it on the Raw right after my after Mind Games. I was like, I guess they didn't finish it yet. Like similar to how it happened with Shawn when he wins the title at the Survivor Series '02. They hadn't finished his tights yet. So
Yeah.
to come out with brown shit tights, I'm like, how do you
And
fuck that up?
also WrestleMania 15 when he forgot the vest and had to wear the
I know
rattlesnake shirt.
why didn't they just go and buy a leather jacket, cut the sleeves off? I mean, they've got a seamstress. Can they have just done
I'd go
something?
one further. It's Stone Cold. Why don't you just get somebody on the fucking jet and get the damn jacket?
Well, here's probably what happened. You probably noticed like that day, and he's like, "There's not enough time to have somebody go and get the jacket."
Come on. They have a private jet.
But I mean, but it can't go faster than what time you're gonna get it there. I
He's
mean,
in
if
the main event.
I
That's
know, but
like 3 hours right there.
I know, but say he opens the thing and he sees it at like 6, and the show starts at 8.
I don't believe for 1 second that at 6 it took Austin several hours to know that he missing his vest.
I don't know. Knowing Austin, he probably was just so pissed he didn't even tell anybody. He's
Maybe.
just so, you know how angry he would be.
But see, Buried Alive to me was very important. For
That's the
one,
beginning of the music.
this is when you see Austin as we know him. This is the first instance. You see the
Before we get
Austin
this.
316 vest. You see the glass break music made by Jim Johnson, which it's extremely important to the package of Austin.
Yeah. But he already had but as we said before, he already had the BMF walk. This is the first time we see all of the things together.
Yes,
Like
everything is
all as a
coming together,
package.
you know. And but I think the music is so important because it was, especially by the time he reaches his heights at in middle of 97 and 98, when you heard that glass break, there was no pop that I could compare that glass break and a full arena back in the Attitude Era. There's nothing that
September of
can.
97. That's when they react to the glass break. It took September of 97. It took a whole fucking year for them to react to a glass break, but which is just amazing. It's like nowadays, if you heard that glass break, they would have reacted automatically. But I don't know. It's a different era then.
It's definitely a different era, and that's
But
the
you can
thing.
see even at Buried Alive, fans are already starting to take to Austin.
Yeah,
You can see them, cheer. One, they've made the mistake of putting him against Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and
and
I'm
that's
like,
another.
who's
This
the
is
heel?
another reason why Buried Alive is so important to the package of Austin. You have him with the music now. You have him with the walk. You have him with the cursing. And then you have him in the ring against the guy that was supposed to win that King of the Ring in the first place.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just perfect. And
Yeah.
like, it was a good little match.
But here's the thing that was great about it. Right before he does the stunner, what does he do?
Yes.
He does this. That's the first time he
Fuck
I did
you.
that's the first time I've seen him actually do that.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching the Kings Road podcast. You can subscribe here.
To get the latest clips and news on the show, or like us on Facebook.com/Kings Road Podcast, or email us at podcastkingsroad@gmail.com.
Also, check out our Instagram at Kings_Road_podcast and our Twitter at the KRP podcast. Thank you.